Sometimes I just like to think and capture my ideas in ink. When the pen begins to flow, I leave my thoughts and let them go. It's when the mind starts to run free that we really do begin to see. Our eyes are somehow opened wide and we're given a peek inside. We see the places where ideas grow, the ones with passion we must sow. Big ideas can give us power. They bloom and glow just like a flower. Tricky problems simply pop as great ideas take you to the top. Don't keep them locked up in dark spaces as good ideas will take you to places as good ideas will take you to places.
Well recited, Arushi. Yes, and these ideas unleash our creativity, as rightly quoted by APJ Abdul Kalam. Learning is creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes one great. Good morning, respected director sir, principal sir, headmistress ma'am, senior coordinator ma'am, and the lovely audience watching us.
We are really glad we have you all. After the successful conduction of two events by Jagriti House, we, Nirman House, is back with an exciting and innovative competition today for classes 6 to 8.
Every child has an innate curiosity to know things like phenomenon of nature, changes around us, changes in environment, and this curiosity can only be quenched by imagining, inventing, and inspiring our budding brilliance.
Well said, Soumya. Yes, so today, to unveil that curiosity with respect to science and its experimentation, we have organized this competition that is Chote Dimag Ki Badi Khurafat, exploring the young intellects.
छोटे दिमाग की बड़ी खुराफात, exploring the young intellects. Oh, seems interesting and exciting to me.
You know, when people hear the word science, they often tend to think about facts and equations. Well, to be honest, this might seem like science, but believe me, it's way beyond that. It is a way of life, a perspective. It is a process that takes us away from confusion to precise understanding.
And yes, it all begins with an idea that comes to our mind when we think of a science experiment. And today, through this competition, our understanding for science will surely change its way.
We are really obliged to have with us school's director sir and senior coordinator ma'am in today's competition.
We are also glad to have Principal Sir and Headmistress Ma'am as the judge in the competition. They all have been a mentor and a constant support to help us in excelling in our talent.
So let us explore the curiosity of our young minds and see the new innovations in their ideas.
As per the theme, छोटे दिमाग की बड़ी खुराफात, exploring the young intellects, students have to demonstrate and explain some experiments that could be related to living science, environment science, kitchen science, and a lot many more.
All the participants will also be interjected by our judges. Along with that, each participant will get 2 to 3 minutes to demonstrate their experiment. So kindly adhere to the time. This competition will be judged on the basis of creativity, presentation, explanation, interjection, scientific temperament, and confidence.
To give a nice start to this competition, let me call students of class 6th. So, from class 6th, we have Manya Huria, who is in Jagriti House. Manya is going to demonstrate her project on the topic air pressure.
Good morning to one and all present here. Today, I, Manya Uria of Class 6, would like to demonstrate an experiment in front of you all. The name of my experiment is the drinking candle. As we know, air is present everywhere. I would like to show you an experiment which shows that how air is necessary for burning. The materials required are candle, glass plate, matchstick, beaker and colored water. Now let us start the experiment. First I will place the plate and pour the water into it. Now I will place this candle in between and light it up. Now I will put this beaker onto the top of the candle. Now let's wait for the observation. You observe, the candle blows up and there is a rise in water level. Now I will explain this method with the help of my PPT. The drinking candle. Now let us understand why this occurs. Combustion is a process which requires air, and as we apply the beaker onto the top of the candle, within the seconds the candle blows up. This is because the air supply was cut, which stopped the burning process. Explanation for a rise in water in the beaker. As candle was burning for few seconds, even after the beaker was placed on it, it created hot air, which being less denser rises up creating a low pressure area. Air outside the beaker is cool air, which created high pressure area. As air moves from high pressure to low pressure area, water is pushed from outside to inside the beaker. Thank you.
Really, this experiment states that creativity is a natural extension of our enthusiasm. Questions allow us to be inquisitive. Hence, may I request our respected principal sir to ask a few questions from Manya based on our experiments.
Yes, good morning, students. Very well presented, Manya. I am really proud of the way that you have presented this experiment. My question to you is, if two candles are placed instead of one, will there be any difference in the rate of rise of water?
Yes, sir. Because if I place two candles, there will be more heat inside the tumbler and the rise of water will be more from now.
Wonderful, great. Thank you, Manya. And at the same time, audience, I would like to, recommend and suggest students, if you are watching this, please do not try it independently. Please try it only in the presence of your parents because this is fire and this needs complete assistance. You should not be trying this all alone individually. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very well answered, Manya.
Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. With this enthusiasm, let me call upon Pratyush Kumar from Nirman House, who is going to experiment on the topic 2-in-1 foot pedal stand.
Good morning, Honorable Director Sir, respected Principal Sir, Senior Coordinator Ma'am, Headmistress Ma'am, all coordinators, teachers, and all my dear friends. Today, I, Pratyush Kumar of Class 6B, representing Nirman House, hereby stand before you to show my invention in today's inter-house competition, which is Chote Dimag Ki Badi Khurafat. Let me tell you a story. Yesterday, when I got free from my online classes, my doorbell rang. I rushed to see who was there on my door, and there was a delivery boy standing with some grocery items I have ordered. I collected those items, and when I was sanitizing the whole package, a thought stuck into my mind. What about the doorbell? Many delivery boy come to our house and ring the doorbell, which is dangerous for everyone. So I built my innovation. My innovation is called 2-in-1 foot paddle stand. By 2-in-1, I mean a combination of a hand sanitizer, with an alternative to a doorbell. My invention is based upon the topics fulcrum, effort, and load. The materials required are ropes, sanitizer, pipe, and clamp. So, in this project, I have fixed one rope to the door handle and the other rope to the sanitizer. Both the ropes are attached to a pipe in between. Pipe act as a paddle in between. Here, the ropes are the fulcrum, the sanitizer and the door handle are the load, and the paddle is the effort. So, in this project, when I will push this paddle with my foot like this, see, the door handle is also long and the sanitizer is also being sprayed. And I have also covered my doorbell with a note that don't ring the doorbell. So this was my activity, and I would like to conclude my activity with this thought that necessity is the mother of invention, and the innovation I build here is not just for me and even for the ones who visit my house for various purposes. Thank you and have a nice day.
Wow, what a grateful thought. Yes, necessity is truly the mother of invention, and we all can use this technique to open the door for anyone coming from outside, which is safe and secure. Being prompt with the answer is the quality of a good learner. Now, may I request Headmistress Ma'am to please ask a few questions from Pratyush about his experiment.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Yes, good morning, Pratyush. Very well presented. Very good. That you have said very correct that necessity is the mother of invention. So I want to ask a question that can you give me some more examples of in day-to-day life where this concept of pulley is used?
Ma'am, this concept of pulley is used in a pizza cutter, ma'am. You can take. As ma'am, the top side of the pizza cutter is a circle and it is a pulley only. And as we can see that the rod which is present behind it is the fulcrum, and the place from where we hold it is the effort, and the pulley is the top side of the pizza cutter.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Well said, Pratyush.
Do you know, friends? Science is the great antidote to the poison of enthusiasm, and that can truly be seen in Bal Bhavan nights today.
Next participant is Kartike Pant from Pragati House, who will explain us about Heron's water fountain.
Innovation is taking two things that exist and putting them together in a new way. A very pleasant morning to Honorable Director Sir, respected Principal Sir, Headmistress Ma'am, Senior Coordinator Ma'am, Coordinators, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I, Kartike Pant of Class 6B, representing Pragati House, has got a wonderful opportunity to showcase my science project in front of you all in this virtual inter-house science competition named Chote Dimag Ki Badi Khurafat. Have you ever seen a water fountain? Of course, yes. But have you ever seen a water fountain without any wires and motors? Sounds different. So, today I am going to show you a water fountain that works without any wires and motors. This water fountain is known as Heron's water fountain. This water fountain works with the air pressure. Heron's water fountain is a hydraulic machine that demonstrates the principles of hydraulic and pneumatics. You might be wondering, what are hydraulics and pneumatics? Let me just tell you. Hydraulics is a branch of science and technology concerned with the conveyance of liquids through pipes and channels. Pneumatics is a branch of engineering that makes use of gas or pressurized air. Now, let me just tell you about this water fountain. Now I am going to tell you about this water fountain. So listen carefully. As you can see that the pink pipe runs from the top to the bottom of the system, the green pipe runs from the top to the middle of the system, and the yellow pipe runs from the middle to the bottom of the system. When water is poured at the top, the fountain starts. Why did it happen? This happened because when water was poured at the top, it flowed down through the pink pipe. When it reached down, it forced the air to go up. The air went up through the yellow pipe and reached the middle bottle. Due to the air pressure, the air forced the water to go down. The water traveled up to the green pipe and came out, creating a fountain. The water coming out from the fountain again goes into the funnel and the cycle repeats. I would like to show you a video. This video gives a brief description of how this water fountain works.
Karthik, video is not visible.
So, this was one that I hope you enjoyed it and learned some more about air pressure. Thank you and have a nice day.
Wow, very well presented, Karthike. Yes, we have learned a lot from your presentation. Questioning is uniquely a powerful tool for unlocking our mind. Now, may I request our principal sir to ask a question from Karthike?
Right. So, Karthike, my question to you is, how is this Huron water fountain advantageous over other water fountains?
This water fountain is advantageous over other water fountains as it works independently without any external source of energy. We have to just pour the water at the top and the fountain will start. When it will be stopped, we have to just do the system upside down and it will be reset.
Okay, great. Great confidence, Karthike. Congratulations for presenting your experiment successfully.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Karthikeya, for scrutinizing our mind towards this experiment.
Next, we have Mayank Adhikari from Prerna House to present his experiment on Bernoulli's principle.
The scientist is not a person who gives the right answer, but he is the one who asks the right questions. With these great words, I, Mayank Adhikari from Prerna House, wish you all a very energetic and wonderful morning. My experiment is based on Bernoulli's principle. For this, we require a straw, two inflated balloon, and a rod to hang them parallel to each other. Now, have a look at this and tell me what will happen. If I will blow in between these balloons, what do you think? Will they come closer or will they move apart? Let's see what happens. Yes, to your curiosity. As you saw, the balloons come closer. Let's understand why. When I blow in between the balloons, the air between the balloons is displaced, creating a region of low pressure, and on the left and right side of the balloon, there is a high pressure region, which pushes the balloon towards each other. This is called Bernoulli's principle, which is stated as an increase in speed of a fluid is accompanied by the decrease in pressure, as we just saw. Its practical applications are natural phenomena such as wind, smooth breezes, and dangerous storms. They come due to air pressure. And the other one is airplane. Airplane wings are designed so that the air will flow faster over the top of the wing than underneath it. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. Have an exciting morning.
Well demonstrated, Mayank. The science of today is the technology of tomorrow. Now may I request Headmistress Ma'am to ask a question from Mayank about his project.
Yes, good morning, Mayank.
Good
Very
morning,
well
ma'am.
presented. Very well presented. Now my question is, what will happen if you blow on the left side and the right side of the balloon instead of in the middle?
Ma'am, if I will blow the air in the left side of the balloon, so only the left side balloon will go to the left side, and if I will blow the air in the right side, so the right side balloon will come the right side place, not the left side balloon.
Okay.
Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. So always be optimistic, as we will surely achieve something with the continuous support of everyone.
Now, after looking onto the presentation by the young dynamites of class 6, let's comprehend a knowledge about science experimentation, and let's call upon students of class 7th.
So first, I would like to call Leher Gupta from Jagriti House to demonstrate her experiment on expansion of air.
A very happy morning to Principal Sir, Director Sir, Headmistress Ma'am, all coordinators Ma'am, teachers and participants and the lovely audience. So today I Leher Gupta of class 7th A is here, and today I am going to demonstrate an experiment on carbon dioxide. What we have learned about carbon dioxide in our previous classes, that it is a colorless and non-inflammable gas at normal temperature, and it is used in the process of photosynthesis for the plants to make their food. But did we also know that it is also used as a fire extinguisher? Yes, it is also used as a fire extinguisher. So this is my experiment. Today I am going to do an experiment for the carbon dioxide as a fire extinguisher. So let's start. The material which are required are vinegar, baking soda, 5 small candles, matchstick, and a big box needed for the level of the glass. So now we will put the candles in the order and light them up.
Dear audience, again, the same thing goes. Do not try this experiment at your own. Please do it only in the supervision of your parents.
candles have been burned. Now we will take vinegar and add baking soda into it. Now we'll take the glass and move on with the above of the candles. From the above. Did you see that? The fire extinguished. But how did it occur? Yes, it occurs because carbon dioxide extinguishes the fire by displacing oxygen or taking away the oxygen elements of the fire triangle. The carbon dioxide is also very cool as it comes to the extinguisher, so it cools the fuel as well. Hope you will like my experiment. Thank you.
I once again would request all the students watching us not to try this experiment alone. Please try it under the supervision of your parents. By the way, very well done, Lahir. Now it's your turn to be interjected by a respected principal, sir. Sir, please.
Thank you, Beta. So my question to you is, which property of carbon dioxide makes it best fire extinguisher? So you have to just name that property.
So the property of the carbon, sir, it is also a greenhouse gas and a gas that absorbs and radiates heat warmed by sunlight, earth's land and ocean surfaces continuously radiate thermal infrared energy, that is heat.
All right, so very well presented, Lahir. We may move ahead, Arushi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Lahir.
Wow, the competition is becoming more interesting and innovative with each participant.
Now, let me quickly call our next participant from Nirman House, Harshita Sahu, who is going to experiment on the project Paper Glass Flow.
Good morning, respected Director Sir, Principal Sir, Headmistress Ma'am, Senior Coordinator Ma'am, teachers, and my dear friends. Sir, do you have a pen with you? Kindly just remove the cap of your pen and press the tip of your pen to your finger. Then press the back side of your pen to the finger. Where did you feel much pain? You must have felt pain when you have pressed the tip of your pen to your finger. So today I, Harshita, student of class 7th A, is in front of you to explain the concept of pressure. What do you mean by pressure? Pressure means when you apply force on a certain object, like just happened now. When you have pressed the tip of the pen to your finger, you felt pain because the area was very small. But you didn't feel pain when you have pressed the back side of the pen to the finger because the area was more. Another example, I usually carry my pencil heels whenever I have to attend a party, but I feel more pain. Reason behind this is that the area of heel is less, so more pressure is exerted on a certain region, which gives a lot of pain to my feet. One more example you can take is that a camel can walk easily on sand, but a man cannot. Why? Because the area of camel's foot is more than the area of man's foot. So by these examples, we can easily understand that pressure is more when area is less. Keeping this thing in mind, I have tried to make a paper glass floor, and now I'll show my activity to you all. So as you can see, for this activity I have taken some paper cups and kept them in the ground. Then I have placed a cardboard on it. And if I stand on it, as you can see that I am able to stand properly. Even the paper cups are also in a good condition.
Just a minute, sorry, it's not visible. Sir, it is visible to you?
Visible to me. You may just click on 3 dots and put it fit to frame.
Okay. Okay.
So that means our experiment worked. This gives the clarity that pressure varies with the area. The concept of pressure and area is also used while designing our school bags. That is why the straps of our bags are broader so that they occupy more area and less pressure is exerted to our shoulders. Do you know that the therapy of acupressure is also because of this concept. So now I would simply like to conclude that pressure and area plays a very important role in our life. Thank you.
Seems interesting and exciting, Harshita. Questions spurs learning and the exchange of ideas. So now, Harshita, it is your turn to be interjected by Headmistress Ma'am. Ma'am, please.
Yes, good morning, Harshita. Very
morning.
well explained and very well connected with the day-to-day examples. So my question is that, do on our bodies pressure is exerted? If it is exerted, how it is balanced? If
Yes,
pressure
ma'am,
is
of
exerted on
course.
our bodies, yes.
Ma'am, as we all know that we are surrounded from atmosphere, and the atmosphere also exerts pressure on us, which is known as
Yes.
atmospheric pressure. And the blood flowing in our body balance this pressure. You must have heard about nose bleeding in summers. This happens because when the body blood is not able to balance, because in summer the atmospheric pressure is highly more. That is why some people have nose bleeding problems.
Good, good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Harshita. Very well answered, Harshita. Do you know the true method of knowledge is experiment? And so we are here. Now let's call our third participant, Swastik Kumar Johana, who is from Pragati House. Swastik has selected cohesion, magic or science. So let's see what magic he creates in his experiment.
Good morning, Honorable Director Sir, respected Principal Sir, Headmistress Ma'am, Senior Coordinator Ma'am, coordinators, teachers, and my dear friends. I, Swastik, student of class 7, has got the golden opportunity to represent Pragati House today. I am here to show you an experiment, that of cohesion. Is it science or magic? Have you ever seen water traveling from one cup to another, but with the help of a thread? If no, let me show you. So, in this experiment, we will find out that water not only flow in river, it can flow on a string too. It's not magic, it's science. So as you can see, the water had transferred from this cup to the another cup. So now let's see a video how this happened. Hello everybody. In this video, I am going to explain the process of cohesion with the help of an experiment. So, materials required for this activity are colored water, 2 plastic cups, tape, thread, and scissors. The first step is to cut this much of thread with the help of scissors. Now we will double it to make it more thicker. Then we will dip the thread into the colored water. Make sure that the thread is dipped into the colored water properly. Now we will squeeze the thread to get the excessive water from it. Now with the help of the tape, we will stick the thread's end in one cup. And the other end into another cup. So now, here comes the interesting part. We will pour colored water in the glass. So let's see, will our experiment will be successful or not? Will the water travel from the thread and go to the other container? So let's see. So as you can see, the water has transferred to the another cup. So our experiment has been successful. Hope you liked my experiment and thanks for watching my video. Okay, now let's see what we have learned from this experiment. This traveling water experiment has demonstrated two important properties of water.
Yes, it is a true science. Now, may I request Principal Sir to ask.
Soumya, I think Swastik is still continuing with this experiment. Let him complete.
Yes.
Okay, now let's see what we have learned from this experiment. This traveling water experiment has demonstrated two important properties of water. First, cohesion, and second, adhesion. So, cohesion is the process when water molecules are attracted to one another and so they tend to stick together. And adhesion is the process when water molecules are attracted to other objects and so they tend to stick to other objects, such as a string. Now, I will take you through the real-life applications of these forces. Cohesive and adhesive forces are important for the transport of water from the roots to the leaves in plants. With the hope that you learned something new today, with this, I conclude my experiment. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Swastik. Yes, it is a true science. Now, may I request Principal Sir to ask a few questions from Swastik.
Yes, Swastik. So this is something which is very exciting, and I think I have been trying this at my place to water my plants when I am not around. So you can actually use a cotton thread and dip it in the water, and put water in one bucket and then use it to water your plants in your absence. So that's a wonderful concept actually the science has given us. But my question to you is, why do you think that we need to dip that thread in the water before actually putting it across the bucket in the two glasses? Why do we need to soak it in the water?
We have to soak the string in water to let the water molecules adhere to it, and so thus water will transfer from the thread to the other one. So it is important to soak the string, the water molecule.
Wonderful. Great, Swastik. Good. Hats off to you for bringing this live here in front of everybody. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, Swastik. The experiment was really...
Next, let's call Kushagra Chauhan from Prerna House to describe and demonstrate about respiratory system.
If people are doubting you, for how far can you go? Go so far that you can't hear them anymore. My very heartful sanitized morning to all my respected teachers and my dear friends. Today, I, Kushagra Chauhan of Prerna House, is here to present the idea which came into my mind during this lockdown, that is respiratory system, a link to coronavirus. In these tough days, there is a necessity to rise this topic up as the deadly coronavirus enters our body mainly through a respiratory system and then multiplies. Moving towards my project now, I have used all the waste materials such as balloons, straws, and an empty bottle. Now let's look at the working of this respiratory system. This is the windpipe. We inhale through it and the air moves in our lungs. After that, our lungs expand along with the expansion of the diaphragm. During exhalation, the residual volume of the air reduces, and with that, diaphragm also contracts. Let us now discuss how the novel coronavirus attacks our lungs. When we breathe in, the virus, along with the air particle, moves in and settles down on the alveoli, which is the functional unit of the lungs. The virus then gradually damages the alveoli and accumulation of plasma protein takes place in it, which blocks the supply of oxygen and we feel difficulty in breathing. Now I think you all must be aware that how important it is to save our respiratory system, and for that we have to take these below mentioned preventions. First, we must not smoke. Second, we should drink hot water. Third, eat a balanced diet to strengthen your immunity system. And the last, always wear a mask. Always wear a mask when we go out from our house. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you and have a nice day.
Wow, it was really informative in this current scenario. Thank you. Now, Kushagra, it is your turn to be interjected by Headmistress Ma'am. Ma'am, please.
Yes. Yes, good morning, Kushagra. Yes,
Good morning.
Ma'am, you are muted. Kavita, ma'am, you are muted. Yes.
Sorry. Yes, good morning, Kushagra. Yes, very well explained, and it is very well connected with the present scenario. So, and you have explained the precautions also. And so my simple question is, can you explain the difference between breathing and respiration?
Yes, ma'am. Breathing is the process of inhaling of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide, and respiration is the process of inhaling oxygen, exhaling carbon dioxide, and when the oxygen moves in our lungs, it provides us energy to perform our daily life activities.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Many of our participants must have faced certain difficulties in demonstrating their innovation. But let me tell you, difficulties in life do not come to destroy us, but to make us help our hidden potential and power. And so we all can see today that how beautifully they all are presenting their power and potential in front of everyone. My dear friends, I would just like to add that let difficulties know that you too are difficult. With this, now I would like to invite students from class 8 to present their skills. From Jagrati House, we have Ansh Singh with his project on COVID.
A very good morning to Honorable Director Sir, respected Principal Sir, Senior Coordinator Ma'am, Headmistress Ma'am, teachers, and my dear friends. The title of my project is COVID, which is a type of mobile application based on the recent pandemic coronavirus disease. Now, I'll present my project through a presentation.
The title of the project is COVID. It's a type of mobile application. The objective of making this app is informing, entertaining, protecting, and helping people at the time of this outbreak. As the name of the app is COVID, which means COV equal to COVID-19 and aid equal to help. About the application. This application is based on the recent pandemic coronavirus disease. This application has user-friendly interface, has many features, and is easy to use. This app uses nicely designed algorithms to protect, entertain, inform, and help you within the topic coronavirus. Now So the features of the application include food donation and retribution, web page, some corona games, a corona probability test, a emergency helpline call button, and a respiration exercise.
So the first feature is coronavirus probability test. Using this feature, you can check whether you can be infected with coronavirus or not. Here, I get a set of 3 questions. I have to answer all of 3 in yes or no. Now let's say. Now when
You have medium chance of infection. Stay at home and get tested for COVID-19. You have lower chance of infection. Stay at home. You have a highest chance of getting infected. Kindly get tested as soon as possible.
So basically, based on your input, it provides you the output. Second feature is food donation or retribution.
The second feature of the app is donate or get food. When we click on it, a window appears where we have 3 options: donate food, take food, and admin's corner. Admin's corner is for those who are maintaining the accuracy of the data. So when we click on donate food button, then we can type our address, phone number, and the number of people we can feed. So when I click on the submit button, all these details will be submitted in the take food corner. So when any help seeker will go on the take food corner, he or she can see all the details of the donators. So the help seeker can go to donator's address to take the food or can contact the donators.
So now let's see the third and the fourth feature.
The third feature is coronavirus games. This feature provides social message in an interactive manner. We can play the games with friends as well. So the fourth feature is respiration exercise. As we know, coronavirus attacks our lungs. So to ensure that our lungs remain safe and healthy, we shall practice some breathing exercises like box breathing, which is also known as pranayam. So this feature does the same. So when I click on the start the exercise button, so a robot will appear. This robot acts as a fitness trainer. When I click on the robot, it will start the exercise. Now I have to type the number of rounds of respiration exercise I want him to do. Each round includes inhale for 6 seconds, hold for 6 seconds, then exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold again for 2 seconds. This cycle continues as per your rounds. I'll type 2 rounds. So it will start the exercise in 5 seconds. Till then, we can relax our body.
Inhale.
Now we can follow it.
Hold. Exhale. Hold.
So this cycle will continue as per your rounds. This will make our lungs more strong to protect us from the coronavirus. The third feature is coronavirus.
Now let's see the fifth feature, that is web page.
The fifth feature is web page. The web page contains all the information related to coronavirus in the form of graphics, images, links, buttons, videos, etc. So, you can see the web page. It has complete details related to coronavirus like advantages, disadvantages, prevention, symptoms, etc.
Now let's see the last feature.
The last feature is emergency helpline call button. Using this feature, I can directly call the coronavirus helpline of India just by one click, like this, which is helpful at the time of emergency. The platforms used are Visual Studio Code, Code.org, App Inventor, Scratch, and Adobe Spark.
So the major advantage of using this app is you only require a mobile phone and a normal internet connection. I hope this app can bring a change in the society. So that was all for my app. Thank you.
Wow, it was amazing. Very well done, Ansh. I'm surely going to download your app and play the games invented by you. Now is the chance to call Principal Sir to ask a few questions from Ansh based on his project, so that even we are clearer with our thoughts and his app.
Yes. So Ansh, I just don't have one question. I have multiple questions. So if you permit me, I'll ask you, and they're very short questions. Number one, how much time did you take to actually prepare this app?
So actually, I prepared this app a month ago. So daily I made a few parts of this app. So it took at least 10 days to make this app approximately.
Okay. Okay. And did you do it all by yourself or you took somebody's help?
Yes, sir. All by myself.
All by your own self. Yes, so you have been involved with some training, or are you involved in some classes or so something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I do coding classes.
Great. You do coding classes. Wonderful, wonderful, great. So Ansh, I just want to ask you last question, which is, how this app integrates the other subjects, other than the IT and this thing. What other subjects can you integrate with your app?
Sir, this app is completely based on the branches of science, which are computer science and biology.
Right.
As I mentioned, the origin of coronavirus and basically the history and all things about coronavirus. So it is bit related to biology as well. And the other is computer science, as I have done the coding part.
Okay. Can we say that physical education is also linked to it?
Yeah, sir. As we are doing the respiration exercise, so yeah, we can say that.
Absolutely. Great. Fantastic. So over to you, Arushi.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ansh. Your app was really informative. All these activities are a fun way of learning, or rather, I should say learning through experimenting. Next, I would like to call Nishtha Verma from Nirman House to creatively present Newton's laws.
Nishtha, please unmute yourself.
Sorry for. Good morning to respected judges and all the audience present over here. Today, I, Nishtha Verma of class 8F, will help you understand Newton's laws with the help of Nishtha's cradle. Though the name of the tool is Newton's cradle, but as it is prepared by me, so I gave my name to it. So not wasting much time, I will start with the explanation. The first and foremost thing to understand Newton's laws is the concept of frame of reference or point of reference, means from which reference you are looking at the object. For example, sir, I can see you. You are sitting on a chair, and at this point of time, you are in rest position. From my point of view, from children's point of view, and from ma'am's point of view, but not from the point of view of a person who is looking you
from outside the earth. From his or her point of view, you are in motion, since our earth is moving constantly. Isn't that interesting? Now I will come to the explanation part of Newton's first law. Look at this Newton's cradle. The balls were at rest till I didn't provide any external force to the balls. But as soon as I provide an external force to the ball starts moving and continue moving in a same straight line until and unless any external force acts to stop them. This is Newton's first law, which states that any body in rest or any body in motion will remain in motion in a same straight line until and unless any external force acts on it. This can be understood by a very relatable example. In my class, there are many notorious kids who do not stop or who do not keep quiet until and unless my teachers give them a very good scolding. Here, my teacher is an external force and all that children are objects on which my teacher is putting her efforts. Now, I will come to the explanation part of Newton's third law. Look at the cradle again. The balls are continuously passing their motion to the other balls. If one ball is passing its motion to the other ball, that is an action. And when the other balls making the same ball to continue in the same straight line, that is a reaction. So this Newton's third law of action and reaction acts on two different bodies. Newton's third law states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This can be understood by a very interesting example. When we do not complete our homework on time, so our teachers get annoyed from us. Here, our not completing the homework is an action, and teachers getting annoyed from us is a reaction. At the end, I would like to conclude with the statement that we are following Newton's laws at every point, and without them, our life would not have been so simple. Thank you.
Now, let's see how Nishtha will be able to answer the questions asked by our judges. Headmistress ma'am, can you please ask a question from Nishtha?
Yes, very well explained, very confidently explained, Nishtha. So my question is, what are the other external forces which acts on our body other than frictional forces?
Like ma'am, there are yes ma'am, the external forces which acts on our body as well as the balls also are a muscular force. When somebody pushes us, so we also move forward or backward. That is an external force, and also a gravitational force. Because we are because of gravitational force, we are also standing on earth. It is also exerting force on us, and we are also exerting force from our legs or hand on earth, so that we are standing. So these are some external forces.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Well presented, Nishtha. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill, which is presented here by everyone on this platform. So next, I would like to call Soumya Agrawal from Pragati House with her topic, Piano with Arduino.
A theory can be proved by experiment, but no path leads to the birth of a theory. A very happy morning to Honorable Director Sir, respected Principal Sir, Headmistress Ma'am, Senior Coordinator Ma'am, all coordinators, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I, Soumya Agarwal of Class 8 from Pragati House, come up with an innovative idea. I know that we all want to do activities in this pandemic, and we all want to go market and buy some games, but we can't, as nothing is safe to buy from outside. I love playing musical instruments. So far, pursuing my interest in music, I have made a piano with Arduino and buzzer. It seems to be complicated, but it's not. So I would like to introduce the materials required while making it. And the first material is Arduino, which is the main thing used to make piano. It is an open source microcontroller board. It is just like a brain, which is a master organ. During the making of piano, I have inserted certain code inside it, which it will read and act accordingly. The second material is buzzer, also known as small speaker. The third material is push button. It is a simple switch mechanism to control some aspect of a machine or a process. The next material used by me is resistor. In electronic circuit, resistors are used to reduce current flow. The other material is breadboard. It is the base of the piano, as the breadboard is a construction base for prototyping of electronics. Last material is jumper wire. Jumper wire are connecting wire. Now I would like to show you the making of piano. Now, let me introduce you with the advantages of this piano. There are many advantages such as easy to make as only 6 components are used that I have told you before, and it doesn't need any glue or other material to connect as components should be connected to each other with jumper wire. The second advantage is easy to use. The way we use or play piano that we buy from outside, that same way we have to play this piano with push button, which will act as keys of it. I hope you all like this and will try to make it at your home and engage yourself in this wonderful idea, which will take you in different world of innovation and technology. Thank you.
What a great idea, Soumya. Yes, surely. We are going to try this at home. Thank you, Soumya. Now, may I request Principal Sir to ask a question from Soumya.
Yeah. So, Soumya, I wanted to ask you, which language is used in Arduinos?
The Arduino code is written in C++ with an addition of special methods and a function, and C++ is a human readable programming language.
Okay. So where did you learn the C++ language, Soumya? Because I think your class students have not been introduced to this language at the school. So where did you learn this?
Before I take classes of this code language, as I want to learn like coding and all, so I love to learn something new.
Okay, wonderful. Good, very nice presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Soumya.
Thank you, sir. During this pandemic, the demand for sanitizers have increased drastically. So, let me comment about mobile sanitizers.
Edward Teller once said, "Science of today is the technology of tomorrow." I, Nehal Rohila of Prerna House, wish you a highly spirited morning and would like to share my project, Prakshalak, which means Project Sanitizer. Before the pandemic, COVID-19, did we ever think to take a minute and sanitize our phones? Never, right? Our touchscreen devices are a breeding ground for germs. In fact, it's dirtier than a toilet seat. An average person checks his mobile phone approximately once every 12 minutes or 80 times per day. This means our hands are on our devices non-stop and they're likely to accompany us on nearly every errand and activity, perhaps even when we visit a toilet. But with the right approach, we can keep them cleaner. My motive, My motive is to prevent all kinds of bacteria and viruses which get collected over the screens of electronic devices with the use of artificial intelligence. Nowadays, whenever we come back home, we make sure to sanitize ourselves, but we should also sanitize our portable electronic devices, especially mobile phones. So my project will act as an easy way and also as a reminder. I know you all must be very curious to see how the machine works. Let me show you a video.
The machine is made up of waste materials and Arduino UNO3.
For the trial purpose, I'm using this phone and keeping it on the stand, letting the sensor sense my hand. As you can see, the first motor is pressing the spray bottle. As you saw in the previous photo, the second motor will rotate the stand to 180 degrees. Now again, the first motor will spray the vapors. Your phone is fully sanitized. You can refill it also by opening this, rotating the cap and pulling the bottle out.
Now the question arises, where to keep it? We can place it on a doorstep table, and whenever any family member comes, he or she has to keep his or her phone, iPad or tablet on the holding stand and let the sensor sense their hands and work its magic. Or we can also keep it on a bedside table in order to sanitize the devices before going to sleep. I hope that it will work as a reminder too. May your day be filled with good thoughts, kind people, and happy moments. Thank you.
Thank you, Nehal. This was wonderful. And now it is your time to be interjected by Headmistress Ma'am. Ma'am, please.
Yes, good morning, Nehal.
Good morning,
Very good, yes, very good presentation, and it is connected with the present. And it is very, you well said that it is very necessary to keep your mobile also sanitized, because each and every, you have said that after 12 minutes, I think so, after every 5 minutes or 4 minutes, you are picking up the phone and using it. So my simple question is, what is the authenticity of this project? How do you determine that germs are surely killed?
Ma'am, I determined as the spray is coming, the spray I'm using is a screen sanitizer, and it is made scientifically from our own scientists. So it makes sure that the screen bacteria are killed.
Okay, the your screen and mobile is safe.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Nehal. Really, all the participants had challenged themselves and thought out of the box to bolster their creativity in this virtual platform. This reminds me of our school's annual science exhibition, which gave rise to our creativity in such a manner that all the students explored their hidden innovations. And today, this competition is a glimpse of our annual science exhibition that is organized every year.
The objective
of such competition
are not only the objective of such competitions are not only to create a scientific attitude and research mindedness, but also to involve students to participate in activities so as to understand the cognitive, affective, and physical motor aspects of the
in these trying times when schools are close to the current situations, we all are worried about our education. At this time, our school has not only introduced online learning but also helped us in competing in our skills and talents by giving us an opportunity to participate in order to improve our oratory skills and confidence. Whether it is celebrating Earth Day, Yoga Day, or reading week Our school has excelled in virtual schooling competition also. Because of these continuous efforts and hard work of our Honorable Director Sir, respected Principal Sir, Headmistress Ma'am, Senior Coordinator Ma'am, and all our teachers, we can say that we are proud to be Bal Bhavan Nights, a great initiative from the school which makes us believe that the learning should not stop. Therefore, I take this opportunity to wholeheartedly thank all my mentors for their ardent efforts in shaping our future and giving a spark to our personality. Now, may I please request our Honorable Director Sir to please share his views about today's competition. Sir, please.
Very warm greetings to you one and all. First of all, I would like to congratulate and appreciate the efforts of each and every individual participants prepared by the teachers and supported by their parents and other family members. Their performance is really remarkable. It not only develops confidence among you, it helps others also to grow further. We, all the Balbonites, firmly believe that each and every individual student of the school has one or the other hidden talent among themselves to explore, to shape, to recognize, to appreciate that hidden talent among these individuals is the job of the school and its management, which the school is performing accordingly. The founder chairman, sir, Shri G.C. Lagan, sir, believed that each and every student must be given ample opportunities for the personality grooming. Apart from providing academic information and excellence, helping to groom their personality is also an important aspect of the teaching, which all the teachers of Bal Bhavan are doing it honestly. More than 300 activities have been organized in every session by the school, and students, according to their talents, are participating in it and performing and giving room for their improvement. I'm sure that this is the only way how we can help the students to groom further, to be fitted into the society and to build a better nation for themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your words have always been an inspiration for us. Now is the time for the result.
Now is the time for the result. I would like to take an opportunity to call our respected Principal Sir and Headmistress Ma'am to declare the result for today's competition.
Thank you, Soumya and Arushi, for inviting me. Thank you, Director Sir, for always motivating us and for your guidance. I think Kavita ma'am will agree that judging this event has not been easy.
Yes.
And, you know, I do not know how to declare the result for this competition. It is an immense, proud moment for all of us to see how our students have presented their ideas so beautifully with such great confidence and valor. And I congratulate all the students. I congratulate their teachers and their parents for, you know, allowing them to come on this platform, taking this, you know, courage and the risk to present their ideas in front of each one of us. Congratulations to all the participants. You know, as I have been saying in the earlier competitions as well, I am really feeling very disheartened to announce today's result. I really do not want to do it, but since the responsibility has been given to us, we have to declare the winner. And Kavita ma'am, I do not know how to announce the result. This is really tough, and I do not want to discourage any of them because they were all amazing. Their ideas were so beautiful and amazing, and the way they presented shows that, you know, our students are not less than anybody else. So I'll pause because I need some time to calm down and to declare the result. So before I'm announcing the result, I'll take this opportunity to I have two special surprises for each one of you. So the first surprise is that, you know, since the lockdown, we have not been able to connect with you through the medium of the School Connect. And you will be happy to know that we have made a comeback and we are now unveiling the virtual School Connect. And your teachers will be sharing the School Connect, virtual School Connect with all of you in the teams where you are there, placed with your class teachers. The link will also come on the ERP so that you can actually see how we have actually worked on the School Connect and what the contribution from other people have come in. And you'll be surprised to see the 3 months of hard work that the school and the teachers and everybody has put in, even during the pandemic, and the learning hasn't stopped. So that's the first surprise that I wanted to share with everybody. And the second surprise is, and of course, I think the second surprise deserves to be announced at this platform itself. And you'll be happy that, you know, we are soon going to have the Foundation Day on the 7th of August 2020. And since we were in a pandemic situation, we were in a fix how to actually celebrate and mark this occasion. But as planned earlier before the lockdown, we had planned for an annual science exhibition on 7th of August. And after the successful completion of today's inter-house activity, I'm very confident that now we can actually have a virtual science competition, a virtual science exhibition, placed in front of all of you, where all of you can be a part of this competition. So I announce that a virtual annual science exhibition 2020 be organized virtually from 1st to 6th of August, and the result for the same will be announced on 7th of August during the Foundation Day celebration. And the competition will be open to the audience. It will be a complete new phase of the annual science exhibition. And this annual science exhibition, you are soon going to get a circular. And this annual science exhibition will be hosted on the school's Atal Tinkering Lab Facebook page. We will be asking all of you to present your ideas in form of a video that you will be sharing with us. And after sharing those videos, we'll be putting up those videos on the Atal Tinkering page of the school, where the viewers can like it, they can give their comments, they can ask you the questions, and you can actually answer back to those questions. You can share it with your friends and relatives and let them see how beautifully and how confidently you present your ideas. And also along with that, for classes 9 to 12, since the unit tests are going to begin from Monday onwards, some of you would be thinking that how you're going to prepare the projects. Let me let you know about the thing that this is an alternative strategy for assessing all of you in different subjects. So the annual science exhibition will not only be for science subject, it will be open in mathematics, it will be open in commerce, it will be open in IT, and all the spares the way we have been conducting the previous years as well. So, we would want to see your beautiful ideas. It will be a categorized thing. We'll be uploading the videos on the school's Atal Tinkering page, Facebook page, and the category wise best People's Choice Award will also be declared along with the first, second and third innovative ideas. So I would want to see the maximum participation from my students who could not come on this platform and present their ideas. This is your opportunity. Grab it and fly. That's the wing that I'm giving to you. And let me see how well you can encash that. Now, coming back to the result.
Sir,
okay.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Before the announcement of result, before the announcement of result, I want to add one thing. That
Please.
last 2-3 days back, when we had a discussion about this annual science exhibition, so we were in this thinking whether we will be able to conduct this or we will be able to manage this thing. But sometimes it happens, these young kids give us motivation and they give us platform. Okay, you go and you fly. Now
Yes,
today I
absolutely.
feel उस दिन हम आपस में डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि करेंगे, लेकिन आज now they have given us confidence कि that okay, we can go with this plan. तो ये आज इन बच्चों ने हमें कॉन्फिडेंस दिया है इनके प्रोजेक्ट्स देख के कि आज जो है हम इसके ऊपर आगे बढ़ सकते हैं और डेफिनेटली इट विल बी अ सक्सेसफुल इवेंट.
Right.
Definitely.
I agree with you, Kavita ma'am. I think the students always astonish us and surprise us with their talent and potential.
Yes,
and no
yes.
doubt all Bal Bhavanites are spearing ahead in that regard.
Yes, yes.
So I'll quickly now go to the result. The first position holder in grade 6 is Kartikeya Pant from who presented Heron Water Fountain from Pragati House. Congratulations, Kartikeya. Can you please switch on your camera and come in front so that we can show it to everybody? Congratulations, Kartikeya. So he's the one who's the winner. Focus on Kartikeya, please. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Now, moving on ahead with grade 7, the first position, the best performance was by... Okay, all the 4 students, please switch on your cameras. This is Harshita Sahu from I think from Nirman House, who presented the topic paper glass floor. Congratulations, Harshita, for very well presentation. From class 8, can I now ask all class 8 students to switch on their cameras? And class 7 students can actually switch off their cameras. Great. So in class 8, the competition was really very tough, and I think with 1 mark each, there has been a difference in the first winner. And the first place goes to Ansh Singh from Jagrati House. Congratulations, Ansh, for your wonderful performance. And you know, the ideas were beautiful. And everybody, all the 12 participants were amazing on this platform. Congratulations and kudos to all of you for your performances. I would just say, you know, do not feel disheartened if you have not been declared or adjudged as the best placeholder in this competition. You have ample opportunities to, you know, try out and explore and then win. It is not at all a failure for any one of you. All of you are winners for us, and believe me, it was really a tough time for us to judge each one of you. And I would like to request the parents to please pat the back of each of my students. If I would have been there, I would have given them a sweet hug, a cuddle, you know, to tell them that they are all very good and they're all winners for me. But since I am not around, please, it's a request to all the parents to please pat their backs and give them the courage and the confidence that they had presented very well. Kudos to all of you. Thank you so much.
Sir and
Thank you,
ma'am,
sir.
that
Thank you, sir, for your
motivation
innovative words.
and confidence is all because of your continuous support and efforts in our growth. And this will surely help us to improve, achieve, and succeed in our life. Once again, congratulations to everyone. We all have a massive mountain to climb. So always remember that it will surely be climbed by overcoming our fear. So goodbye everyone. I hope you all enjoyed today's competition. We will be back with new talents next week. Thank you.